Hi everyone, can we first of all do a quick sound check? Can you hear me okay? Well, I'm waiting for those replies to come in. Hello everybody, so good to see you all. I've been asked a lot of questions recently as to whether we could go through the basic settings for when we upload a video to YouTube, and also the basic settings for your YouTube channel itself, for the homepage or the upload defaults, that sort of thing. Now, if anybody's in my live chat, please note that anybody who appears to be me in the live chat is actually Mark. He's helping me for the first time today. So yes, we're going to be going through the upload settings. Now, as I always say, I am not an expert. I will never pretend to be. However, this is how I've done it based on the research I've done. So for what it's worth, very happy to share it. I seem to have spent quite a lot of time lately talking through, how to make your banner, what you should put in your channel description, that sort of thing. So yeah, that's the sort of things we're going to be sharing today. Let's just say hello to a few people in chat. I see there's 8 of you here already. I am going to be leaving this video up though, so it is primarily for the members of Crafty YouTubers United. However, the video will be left up, so if anybody else finds it useful, then I will try and make reference to where it might be different for craft channels to regular channels as well. So we have in chat, we have John, we have Jenna, we have Mark pretending to be me in the chat. That's not his fault, that's we can't work out what button to press. We have Sally, and we have, who else have we got? Who else did I just see come in? Julia, and Sally, Julia. Oh, and the other Sally. Hi, other Sally. That's Sally H is in the house as well. Fantastic. And have I missed anybody? Charity's here. Yay. And Leanne. And now look, I know I am going to miss saying hello to some people, but I know I've got an army of moderators in my chat at the moment, so hopefully they'll welcome anybody I miss. Hi Leah. It really is great to see you all. I can see we've got 10 in already. That's great. Now, as I said, we're going to go through the screens for setting up your YouTube channel. I will be sharing my screen, of course. Hello there, Kev. I'll be sharing my screen. Now, at the points I'll be sharing my screen, I won't be able to see the chat. So this is where Mark is going to be helping out by putting any of your questions into a private chat to me so that I won't miss any. So if you could help Mark out. Oh, hi, Annie. If you could help Mark out by starting any questions you have with a capital Q and put it in capitals, just so it's dead easy to spot. Because like I said, we're trying something new. We've not done it this way before. We are actually using the proper facility within my streaming software. So it's a little bit of an experiment. Let's hope it works and makes it better for you and easier for me as well. So thank you to Mark for helping. Thank you to all my moderators in chat as well. And thank you to everybody for joining me. Now, the questions I'm being asked are how to make a banner, what to put in the video descriptions, what to put in the title of the videos, thumbnails I'm still getting asked about, also what to put in your channel description, what you can do to save yourself a load of time when you're uploading a video as well. All those defaults that you can put in, so it'll be done for you already every time you go to upload a video. Now, I know we've been through this before a few months ago. However, we have got some new members to the group. Welcome on board, everyone. And I know some of those are very, very new and just uploading their very, very first videos. So I hope this will help to set you off in the right direction, or well, the direction I do it, and experiment and see what works for you ultimately. But I hope I can help to just speed things up a little bit for you, because I'm not necessarily saying what I do is absolutely right. It's just what seems to be working for me at the moment, and based on the 3 and a bit years of experience and the wealth of help I've had from other people, and of course from following channels like vidIQ, and Brian G. Johnson, Nate Black, Kirk Nugent, and a load of others. So yeah, I'm sharing that. Right, let's start at the top. I think the easiest thing is if we start with the home page of our YouTube channel, and there's a few things I want to show you on there first of all. So I'm about to attempt to screen share. Now, bear in mind, I won't be able to see your chat. So do forgive me if I don't answer anything. I'm sure one of the mods or Mark will raise any of your points with me. What I'm planning to do is do all the questions at the end, because of course I'll be able to see your chat then. Right, let's have a go at screen sharing then, shall we? And we are going to show this one, which is my home screen. Okay, can you all see my home screen? I think you can. Don't ask me if I can make it any bigger. I can't. Okay, do you all see the home screen? Yeah, jolly good, thank you. Does I see Sherry? Oh, hi, Sherry. Right, so let's have a look at this home screen then. Obviously at the top there is a banner, so let's tackle that first. From a load of mucking about and experimenting I've done, and from obviously what I've seen others do, and again, information I've had from various gurus, call them gurus, YouTube experts that a lot of us rely on so much. Your banner, you want it to be simple, possibly colourful, but you want it kind of on theme. Your banner wants to say what your channel is about. And then everything else that you put on your screen all needs to look coherent. It's just a branding thing. So what I was trying for here is I've got to have my frog, because obviously Kermit is vital. I've got this background that just looks like stuff dribbling. I was thinking that was a bit like cartoon resin. And there's my logo. But the main thing is it says the name of my channel and what it's about. Very simple. It's not cluttered with other things. So I don't know whether you think that's a great banner or not. At the moment, I'm happy with it. But that was my thought process, if sharing that with you helps. What you want to do overall, all of this, is make it as easy as possible for anybody who lands on your channel for the first time to know exactly what it's about and either skip past if it's not for them or realize that it is and carry on in. With that in mind, I designed this banner in Canva. And you can do this in the free version, by the way. If you don't want to pay for the full version, you might not need to do that. In Canva, you've got a whole load of templates. So if you create new and then you pick, it'll say what sort of a new thing do you want to make, pick YouTube banner, and it'll throw up a whole load of templates. Make up your whatever it is you want the thing to look like, and then upload it into YouTube Studio. We'll come back to where to do that in a moment, and I'll show you what I mean. But YouTube Studio will then guide you as to whether the bit that you want to see on your laptop or PC is in the right place, and whether all the bits that you'd see if somebody was viewing it on telly or on their phone or whatever, if they all look right as well. Now, I ended up going backwards and forwards, even with the Canva template, just sort of adjusting it and shunting it up and down until I got it so that it's quite nice and in the middle and all the rest of it. But it is just a little bit fiddly, but it's quite doable. Now I'll show you what I mean by that when we go into Studio to have a look in there. So I'll carry on down the page before I start taking any questions. Now you'll see I've got some stats and things across the by the way, if you run vidIQ and you see this on anybody's channel, this bit here, the estimated monthly earnings, wildly inaccurate. I suggest you ignore it. That's based on a very low RPM, that is. Now, at the top, you've got this line. Can I just make sure you can see my mouse? Yes, you can, can't you? You've got this line of tabs. What you want in there, once you start uploading things, if you upload videos and shorts, they should start to appear in there for you. Same with lives. Just make sure across there, and I will show you where to set this, don't let me forget. You've got a home page, you've got videos, you've got shorts if you're doing shorts as well. You've got lives if you're doing lives, and that you've got playlists. Not when you've only got half a dozen videos on there, it doesn't matter. But over time, you're going to want playlists and chunk them into kind of topics. You'll see further down the screen the sort of topics I've set mine in. That's not necessarily right. It's just the way I thought to do it. Again, we're making it easy for our subscribers. So you've got that across the top. Your posts is where we have that new, where you can put out your messages and things. If you've monetized, you should have a membership tab, and I've got a store because I've linked my store. So you might not have those last couple of them yet anyway. But you can manipulate what appears across that bar. So the first job is to make sure that your homepage is at least showing your videos. Again, I will come back to that when we get onto Studio. The other thing before we go any further down the screen I wanted to show you is this bit here. This is the description of your video and your handle. I'll show you how to change your handle in Studio as well. That is the bit, as you can see, it says @ and then your name comes up of your channel. If you've got a load of numbers and letters and things on the end of that, see if it'll let you take those off. Again, I'll show you in Studio how we do that because it makes it tidy. Below that, you've got a description of your channel, and you're going to hope that people will click on more and all this information will come up. Of course you are. Do they? Unlikely, I would say, unless they're seriously interested in you. So assume that what most people is going to see is this first bit here. So what you definitely don't want in there is, hello, welcome to my channel. I'm Tracy from Worcestershire, and I do this, this, and this, because all of that will be lost off the end. Start with what your channel is about. So as you can see here, I've got resin crafts and more, sharing creations, messy experiments, and tutorials. And then I go on to say any other stuff that I think they might find vaguely interesting, which with me, I've not put much because there doesn't. I used to have a great long thing and I don't think anybody ever read it. So I've just put on a bit at the end that's a bonus if they happen to click it. Just make sure, and the same will go for your video descriptions, by the way, and your titles, that your first few words, the bit that people will always see before they click more, tells them what they need to know. So at this point, you should be looking at my screen and thinking, I've got no doubt this channel is about resin crafts. Get the idea? And right, back down here then. You'll see that I've got a video that auto runs. You've got some choices with this. Not everybody bothers with this, but I think of this as an advert for your channel. So what you want there is either your best video, that's an absolute stonking video that you're dead proud of. That's mine because it's got about 4 times. It's got an awful lot more views than any of the others. So I've put that back at the top recently. I think it's got, I think it's heading for 300,000 or something, which is just insane for my little channel. So I put that at the top. What you could also do is do a little introduction video. But again, don't start with, hello, welcome to my channel. Go straight in and tell them what this channel's about. Every opportunity you've got to tell people what your channel is about is what you're after. So you might say, are you into resin crafts? Do you like stuff for beginners? Are you just thinking of taking up resin crafts? You're in the right place. Hello, I'm Tracy from Worcestershire, and so on. That getting to the point, which I am shockingly bad at, and it's taken me 3 years to get there, and I can only do it with videos, that is really important. So make sure that this here at the top, this one that auto plays, is very much your flagship, your advert for your channel one way or another. As I say, I've just slapped my favourite video up there that seems to be doing the best, figuring that that must be the best advert for my channel. Below that, I've chosen to have the links of some of my channel members because I've got the channel membership thing. That button won't appear for you until you've monetized. But if you've got it and you want to put it on there, it's entirely up to you. I like to celebrate my members because I think they're so kind to support me in that way. So I hope some of you can see your profile pictures there. I know at least one of those is in the chat. So I've chosen to put those there. Further on down, and again, it's up to you whether you put this on or not. You know, when you go onto some channels, there's a bit where YouTube has gone, I think this person will like this. So I'll suggest these videos on this channel to them. That's what this bar is. You might not want to do that. I leave it on because I think, well, again, if it means it's easier for somebody coming into the channel for the first time to see it and know what's going on, then that is no bad thing. Is it 2,000? It is nearly 300,000 views. I still don't know why. If anybody's got any ideas as to why that video's done. What's the next one? About 80,000. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, that's why I put that one at the top. Nearly 300,000 views. Right. So if you look at this screen, if you look at my channel and you see this top bar, it will look different for you because YouTube is literally thinking, right, this person's interested in this channel. I'll pull out the videos from this channel that I think this particular person that's looking at it now might want to see. So they are personalized recommendations. YouTube does that for you. You don't need to think about it. All you need to do is make sure that banner, that bar is there if you want it. I like it myself. Then down below this, I've got all my playlists. And now I've got an awful lot of playlists because I've been doing this for a while. And of course, I've got one for each of the collaborations that I've organised and everything. But what I do is I put the main ones that I think people are going to want to see onto the home page. And I'll show you again, I will show you how to configure all this. It's dead easy in Studio. So once you've got more than sort of, I don't know, half a dozen videos or so, you might want to start creating some playlists. And a video can be in several different playlists if you want as well. But as you can see, because I do a lot of very simple beginners stuff that's not over fancy, not over clever, just simple, solid stuff for beginners. I know we've got a lot of beginners still out there, so I like to look after them. So I've made that playlist that I've called Great for Epoxy Resin Beginners. I've put it at the top. Now notice through all this, at the top here, resin crafts, epoxy resin. Where are we? Great for epoxy resin beginners. These are all searchable terms. Search engine optimization isn't quite as vital as it used to be, but the human eyes are still doing the same thing. So if they're coming into your channel and thinking, what's this channel about? And is this bit for me? Being really clear on exactly what that video, that playlist, the channel, the whole lot is about is brilliant, because let's face it, anybody who's just starting out with epoxy resin will go, bam, oh, I'll look at this playlist. And there are, does it tell you? No, it doesn't tell you, does it? There's probably about 300 videos in that playlist now. So I find that a good one to have at the top. And of course, it's got play all as well as an option. So anybody starting out might want to grab a cup of tea and binge watch that. Again, YouTube automates that play all thing for you if you do a playlist. The next one that I know is very popular, because some of my best performing videos, they're only for very short spells, are a lot of my resin jewellery for beginners. That's very specific, but if somebody is searching resin jewellery, then this is where you put it. And notice there's a description for that playlist as well. So in that, I mentioned total beginners, epoxy resin and UV curing resin. Yeah, so the idea being that anybody looking for that could just go straight to it. Then, and this is a new thing, we've got this new collaborations feature on YouTube, which I have done videos about already. So I'll leave in the description below this live when it comes back round as a replay thing, in case you want to check those out. I did one with Kirk Nugent, which is particularly good. It's on his channel, so I'll cross refer you to that. Now, the collaborations are ones where it's not just a collaboration when a group of us have done collaborations like our big mass ones. These are the ones where we've actually shared that collaboration link back and forth. So a lot of these are those Challenge Tracy collaborations. As you can see, the one I did with Sherry. Who was this one? Well, this one I did with Jessica, and so on. So those are those ones where we officially within YouTube shared that collaboration link, and we've each accepted it, so it kind of links our videos up. The others are, as you can see, one of Sally's videos has popped up here, Sally at All Aboard Resin Creations, and that's because we shared the collaboration link back the other way. So this is a good way of sharing that audience, basically. Again, it's another one you need to make sure that this banner, if you're doing a lot of collaborations and want to basically, share audiences, you need to make sure that this whole bar here is live. Again, we'll be configuring that in the studio shortly. But that's what that is. And some of these, like I collaborated with Craft Resin here. Which one was this? That's Craft Resin as well, isn't it? So yeah, various other firms that I've collaborated with as well. A lot of them do the collaboration link thing nowadays, because then my video will appear on their channel. And if they do a video, in this case, this video was on their channel, but it's appearing on mine, even though I made it for them. So it's complicated, but it works both ways. So if you do a lot of collaborations and want to share audiences, make sure that bar is on your screen. The next obvious one is just resin art. I think pretty much everything on my channel is in that playlist, because that's one that people might be looking for. And then recently I've added this one as well, all recent videos. So if anybody just wants to catch up on the recent stuff, they can just blitz through these and not get confused with, is this, you know, getting all my old stuff from 3 years ago muddled in it. What I will do when it all gets to about 6 months old, I'll take them off the end of that, so the older stuff drops off, which you just do by changing which playlist it is. I must try and remember to do that. At the bottom, I've got a playlist that's literally got everything in it, and that's just videos. Now, there's a whole load of other playlists, but you can't see them. So it's just, as I said, it's just there so people can find their way around easy. I've also asked for my posts to appear on this channel as well, on this homepage. So I've got that across the bottom too. And that is it. So that is our homepage. Let's just quickly look at a video, and I'm going to tease you. Not really. This is the video that's going out. I'm just picking this just to basically big up the Blooms collaboration that's going out tomorrow. Thanks for organising that, those involved. This will be my video for tomorrow. Now let's just have a look at title. And hang on a minute, how do I shut the live chat down on mine? Can I? Can't I? Yeah, do that. Now on mine, because of the way I've got my screen set, you can only see so much of the title. Now I think a lot of us have got our screen set like this now, because we do like to have that live chat down the right hand side. However, again, bear in mind you've got this thing where people can only see so much of what you've put without clicking more. So you will have, if you've collaborated with someone, I see, oh, looks like Amy's already accepted my collaboration link. A few others hopefully will shortly. The more we can cross-pollinate each other's viewers, the better. So you've got whoever you've collaborated with up here, all your usual buttons and stuff. Now, your title. There's been some research and they reckon 7 words is the maximum that works best. You can get away with longer. You can get away with shorter is even better. But they reckon around between 5 and 7 words is optimal. I struggle to get it that short, but I'm doing my best. I do number them at the end, but that's just so I can find my way through. So I know that I'm on number 678. If somebody was looking back at video number 50, they can tell me that, because I sure as heck won't remember what was in that video and I'd have to go and find it. So I do number all my main videos. So that's what that number there is for. And below that then, you've got your description. Notice we've got this more button again. Can you all see this okay? Yes, you can. So, oh no, I've only got one person waiting. Thank you, whoever that is. At the start, I've got large epoxy resin bloom attempt using alcohol inks and a stunning mould. Not, hello, welcome to another video. Thank you for visiting my channel again. No, this is part of a collaboration. This sounds mean, but that I didn't want to start with. This is part of a collaboration with all these other people, because anybody coming to look at this video won't care whether it's part of a collaboration or not at this point. So telling them what the video is about, use the keywords. So in my case, epoxy resin, bloom, alcohol ink, and so on. So you get, and then put the in this video I'm at the end. See where I'm going with this? And if you click more, of course you get this lot. Now, other YouTubers would think crafters are crazy putting all this information in, but we know people use this stuff down here and they do look at it. So for anybody who doesn't have a channel where you are showing products of some sort and offering discount codes and things, there's no point in having this much stuff in your video description, because people just won't click that more anyway. Crafters and other people like us with all these links and stuff to give to people, we do. Then it's hard. because there's a lot of it and it's really hard to make it not look a garbled mess. Still not convinced mine's any good. Anyway, at the top, I've got the description that we've already seen and a little bit more. And I've tried to get a bit of intrigue. Will it be a muddy mess? Yeah, that's because I'm using orange and blue, which might be a muddy mess. The next thing I put in, Bloom collaboration playlist for your viewing pleasure. So that's where I've put the playlist link. Obviously, I mentioned it in the video. I also set it as an end card because I want to send viewers, not necessarily to my own videos. I have linked one, but I've put the playlist as the primary one because that's where I want viewers to go to watch the rest. And then below that, of course, I've got all my useful links where people, all the discount codes. I've got a thing on resin safety advice. And I put at the bottom that my music is produced via AI using Suno, as most of you know. That's how I'm doing my music nowadays. I think a lot of us are, aren't we? So key points to notice there. Big, bam, eye-catching thumbnail. 2 or 3 words at most if you can. 4 maybe, pushing it. Big and bold. Another tip with your thumbnails, and I'm sure you've heard this before, some of us have our screens on dark mode, some of us have it on light mode, so black background or white background. And the same will go for on our phones, our iPads, telly screens, whatever we're watching on. I tend to watch on my laptop and sometimes my iPad. I've got them all in dark mode because it's a bit better. I find it better on eye strain. So what you want to do once you've uploaded your video, or you can do it before if you're running vidIQ, and there are other apps where you can just, it'll test it for you and it'll show you what it looks like on other devices and in light and dark mode. But if not, just once you've uploaded, just have a quick look at it on your phone, on your iPad, on your telly, on your computer screen, and make sure, does it stand out on any of those screens? And is your title and everything not being too cut off? If you've still got all those words before the more click. So just have a quick check over it. You very quickly learn what's going to work and what isn't. I mean, I've stopped checking them now because I think I kind of, whether my thumbnails are brilliant or not is up to, I don't know whether they are, but I kind of know what is going to be visible on small screen, big screen, light mode, dark mode, that sort of thing. So I don't check, probably should. So that's all the stuff about the home screen. I'm going to come back to my main screen now and stop sharing, because next we'll be going into the studio to look at all the things in there. So let's see what questions we've got first of all on what I've said so far, because it's a lot. I know, I do talk a lot. Bear with me and let's stop sharing. Right, let's see if we've got any questions. Okay, Mark's sending me stuff over. I've got 2 here so far. How do you choose the video to promote and move to the top and auto run? Seriously, it's whatever your favourite video is, I would say. What is your best video? Or it could be your very latest video that you're trying to promote. Or it could be a little advert you made for your channel. I think all 3 of those can work. Just remember, what you're looking for is whichever of your videos is going to encourage people to go, bam, this is the sort of channel I want. They're doing the stuff I want to look at. And that is your deciding point. Ask your friends. If you think you're not sure whether that's the right one, if you've got some friends who are brutally honest, which most of you lot are, thank you for that. Why not ask them and say, do you think that's the right thing to put at the top for me to advertise my channel? Sometimes you need an outside eye, don't you? I've just put that one there because the world seems to have decided it's my best video for some reason. Still don't know why. I've got most crazy watch hours on it as well. So it seems to me sensible that that's the one I put at the top. But really, it's your choice. It's whatever's going to grab the attention most is what I would say. And that's how I decide. Why I number videos? It's literally so I can find them. I used to number them at the start and put a hashtag, but I found that kind of confused when people were searching a bit. I just did that because I saw other people. Oh, how do I physically move it? Mark's just clarified. I'll show you that when we get into studio. I will show you that. Don't let me forget, Mark. Thank you. So what was I saying? Number the videos. Yeah, it's so I can find it. Somebody the other day passed reference to video number 85 and I thought that's 3 years ago, and I was able to go straight to it and find it. So And you'll find when you've got a lot, as you can see, I've got 600 odd proper videos, handful of shorts, few lives. There's well over 700 in total on my channel now. And if somebody says, what was that video you made about such and such? I don't want to have to spend ages searching. If they're asking me a specific question about a specific video, I want to be able to say, could you just remind me what number video is that? And I go, yep, got it, go straight to it. I can answer their questions. So that's the main reason for numbering. And also, if I'm in the middle of making a video and I think, I made one on this showing some slightly different things a few months ago, it also enables me to say in the video, go back and have a look at video number 503 or whatever it is. And people can just send on my channel, search 503 and go straight to it. So that's the reason. It's simply for easy identification of videos. Right, how I physically move it. Yes, we will come on to that at any moment now. Let me just check if there are any questions that we've missed. I think Mark's got them all. Mark's got them all. Hi, Susie. Has anybody else come in while I was missing? Amy, hello. I already said hello, Amy. Have I missed anyone? We have got 16 in. Thank you so much, everyone. So far, have I answered all of the questions? I think Mark's fed them through to me, but have we got any more at this point? Any how do you do that? I'm going to show you in the studio next. But are there any questions that you haven't already put through via Mark to me? Because I'm now watching chat, so I can see them myself now. But that seems to be working well. Thank you, Mark. Right, where do I find more info on the collab button like this? On the collab button for my balloon, Amy is brushing video. Do I need to add? Let me just read this properly. Where do I find more info on the collab button like this for the Bloom collaboration? Amy has a video for, right, she's got a video, and do I need to add everyone or just the hosts? I've got some tips on this for you. If I am doing a collab with a channel bigger than me, I really want to collab with them using that link because it'll put my video in front of that bigger channel's audience. However, it's got to be somebody you're genuinely collabing with. Now, when you've got something, was there about 20 videos in this Bloom collaboration? I've picked Amy because I mentioned her in the video because she's been helping to teach me how to do balloons. I picked Sally because Mummy and Sally just do tend to link across to each other, and somebody else. I can't remember who the other one is. The best thing we can do, I think, is if we all pick, you can do up to 5. So if we all pick 4 or 5, I think it's 5 included plus yourself. So if we all pick up to 5 other people in the group to collab with, then we're cross-pollinating as much as possible. So yes, the hosts, because that would be a nice courtesy. And I know there's some Bloom experts in amongst those. Is it Johanna, the other one? I think it might have been Johanna, the other one, because she's been helping me as well. Yes, I mean, Petra's, if she's doing the collaboration, somebody's met Petra. Then, yeah, just link up. Petra will be good. If she doesn't mind, she's going to get inundated. I think she's the biggest channel in the collab, isn't she? So if I would suggest, she'll kill me, won't she? She's going to be inundated. But if she's willing, then and doesn't, it'll be first come first serve. That's how I always do it. If anybody wants to send me a collab link, I'll just accept first come first serve. But my channel's not that big, but I'll accept anybody's. But there are only 5. The hosts, yes, the hosts are, who is it? Susie, Tina, Amy, Sally, I think. Hi, Jodie. Hi, Katrina. If you missed any notifications on the Bloom collab, you can send any of the organisers the link. I think they'll probably be okay. I might be dropping a minute here, but I think they might be okay to add it still. But it does go out tomorrow, so you'd have to be blooming quick. Blooming. See what I did there? Blooming quick to get it in there. Yes, I can only accept 5. Yeah, you can only do 5 collabs because it could get out of hand. Can you imagine? We had that. Do you remember that one we had where it wasn't it like 80 odd channels in it? You don't want too many; it can get too out of hand. So yeah, just all join yourselves up. Oh, there you go. Petra, Amy, Tina, and Susie. That's it. They're the hosts. They're hosts. So they're the ones that will be able to add any videos that are still coming in. And Susie, yeah. So you might want to collab with all of those, or just get together with a bunch of you. Either way, it's directing people across your channels a little bit more. Anything we can do to link it up and make it easy for people to find their way from one of us to the next. Because let's face it, if they like one of our videos, they're probably going to like the next one. So it does them a favour too. John's doing the bad jokes. Good. Oh, lovely. Thank you. Oh, thank you. New shirt. There you go. Right. So shall we go over to, we can come back to this bit, by the way, if you want to, but if we go to my studio, you might see some bits in here that I don't know whether I should be showing them to the public or not, but you know, hey. So where are we? Let me just find the right screen that I want to show you on, actually. Customization. Yeah, let's just go straight to customization. That's the one. Let me come back and screen share. Right, I think you can all see my customization screen. So if we can now go back to putting the questions up in capitals, start with a big Q, make it as easy as we can to make sure that I don't miss anyone. Mark will be passing questions to me again, please, on the private chat, so I don't miss any. Right, let me just get back into my other screen now. I won't be able to see the chat again, so please excuse me. I know you can see my ugly mug in the corner. Right, now all I've done is hit the, where is it, the customize, because I've gone into studio and I found the customization button. So let's do this bit first, then we'll go and look at the settings. Customization is really about your home screen and how that looks. At the top, you've got the option to change your banner. And if you hit change, it'll ask you, do you want to upload something from your hard drive? So that's, save it somewhere where you know you saved it once you've made it in Canva, and that's how you change it. You just go and pick it. If you hit remove, it'll just make it blank. It's not the end of the world. You just have to re-upload it. But what happens when you go into it is you should see, is it going to let me do it without actually changing it? It's not, is it? I'll have to describe. When you go in to upload your new picture, what you'll get is a screen with lines, and it will say, this bit is going to be viewable on a laptop. This bit, and it'll be the whole big area, like the size of a thumbnail, is what people will see on their TV screens. And this little bit's going to be what they will see on their phone. Now, what you want is all of the important stuff to be in the middle. I don't know if you can make it out here, but you can see my banner picture is actually really big. It is the size of a thumbnail. It also tells you how many pixels here. Look, it's got to be 2048 by 1152 pixels and 6 megabytes or less. You can save it from Canva and actually tell it those dimensions. To get it as nice and crisp as you can, get it as near to those dimensions as you can. But when you go in, yeah, you'll be able to see that that little bit there that you see on my banner is right slap bang in the middle of the screen. And it will show you what it looks like on my laptop, which is what you've just seen. And it will also show you an image of what it looks like on a phone. So keep fiddling with it and uploading it again until you get it how you want it. But that will show you whether it will look right on all those different viewing devices. That's the important thing. Your profile picture. Can I clear up some things about my profile picture? Yes, that photo is about 10 years old. Yes, I was dark-haired at the time, but the ends were purple. Anyway, that's that sorted. Now, here, and it tells you what dimensions for your profile picture. Again, I just did that in Canva. If you pick in Canva that you want to make a new YouTube profile picture, it'll set it up with the right dimensions and everything for you. So again, that actually is straightforward. That's a works the first time thing, that is. No messing. Below that, you want your channel name. Now, I would normally say to people, this is where I suggest do like I say, not like I do. I'll explain why. I suggest to people that your channel name says exactly what you do. So those of you who've got something or other resin or something creations or that sort of title that says this is a creative artisty person, it might say that you do resin, it might say you do multimedia. But if it says creations or art by or something that's a little bit descriptive, that's a really good way to do it. Mine isn't like that because this is an old brand name that I've had for years since I used to make little dioramas. I put GB on the end of it because somebody had already got mini scenes on its own, but the actual brand name is mini scenes on its own. So I just stuck the GB on the end of it, and that was the only way I could get the email address for it as well. So you could literally type in there what you want. So I could put in there, I don't know, silly ass from Worcestershire. I could put what I like, you know. Your handle is an important bit as well. As I said to you earlier, it makes it easier for people to find you. So if you've got something like your channel name, but it's stuck a load of numbers and letters at the end of it, you can actually choose whatever handle you want there. And I think can it be duplicated? Your channel name can be duplicated because somebody's already nicked one of mine. But I don't think your handle can be duplicated. So I might have been lucky with that. You can change it. Notice it says here, you can change your handle back within 14 days. You could change your handle back within 14 days, and handles can be changed twice every 14 days. They don't want you changing it daily because that just gets messy, that's all. You can add letters and numbers. If you want it to be, let's use John, for example. If you want it to be JD Dubber, fine. Personally, I would change it to at Storefield Designs. You know, sorry, John, just using you as an example there. I think Mark's changed his to at Moto Diaries, Mark's Moto Diaries. I think the thing is aligning it makes it simpler for people to find you. So if they search mini scenes GB, this is going to come up whichever it picks out, isn't it? Pronouns. If you're really bothered whether you're called he, she, they, or whatever, you can put it there. I'm not, so I haven't put anything. You can call me what you like. And here is that description. Now, if you remember, I said put the keywords at the start. So you can see in here, I've typed all this in. Whoops. Will it scroll down? No, I think that's all I've got in there now, isn't it? Keep it simple. If you want to tell them all about yourself, do it after about 50 characters or something? 50, 60 characters. I think, wasn't the more at about this point after videos uploaded? So make sure before, you know, first half of that first line, you've got your key bits to tell the viewers really what your channel's about. Get your keywords in there. Below that is your standard channel URL. If you ever need to copy it for anything, that's the full URL rather than your handle. But normally, if you type in your handle, it's basically linking to that URL. It's just shortened it to that nice little snappy name instead. You know, you remember at the bottom of my channel description, there was some links, and this is where you put them in. You can keep adding as many as you want. I just wanted the ones where I am selling things, which is my online store, and Creative Fabrica. Not that I've got much on there at the moment. And my links, I've got one of those link tree things. I'm going to review that soon because I don't think it's not really using it. So I might take that off soon. But you put whatever links you want in there. Now, I do put my email address. If you do this, make sure it's not the email address that your channel is set up under. Apparently, this makes it harder for the bad guys to hack your channel. So I'd suggest you have an email address specifically for your channel and anything related to it that is completely different to the one that you set up your Google account with. It's easy enough to get another email address, isn't it? I mean, that's just a Gmail address. I just went into Gmail, create a new Gmail address, done. So do that. Now, what YouTube does is it makes people do like a captcha thing to prove they're not a robot. Just click a thing before it shows your email address. And that is simply so that you can't get, say, the bad guys scanning a load of channels and just picking up all the email addresses. They'd have to actually go into each one and click every one, so it slows them down a bit. A lot of people don't show their email address. I just do, because a lot of the collaboration links come into there. I do get people want to get hold of me to ask questions or for help or whatever it may be, or to try and sell me stuff. pretend to promise me gear and things, and the scams, they do come on through on that email address, as does all the good stuff. But it's up to you. Not everybody wants to publish that. Now, if you want to add a watermark, bottom right hand corner of your videos, you've got like a little, some people have got a little watermark of their logo or their little mascot or something. And if people click on it, it will, or hover over it, it will invite them to subscribe. Well, I've just put my little frog and my subscribe symbol there, and it is like a watermark. It's sort of a bit transparent-ish. Now, you can have it at the end. You can have it at a custom start time, or you can have it through the entire video. I'm trying it through the entire video at the moment. I don't know if it makes much difference, but that's what I'm doing. So that's that tab. You've then got the home tab. This brings back that question of how do you move that video up? At the top, well, this whole page is about the layout. First of all, if you've just started a channel and nobody can see that you've got any videos on there, it could be you just haven't turned this on. Because if I turn this off, if I click this button on the right here, that will clear my channel and nobody will be able to see any videos. They're not gone, they're just hidden. So if you don't want anybody to see your videos because you've only just started out, so you're being a bit shy at the moment, that might be an option for you. You can also put them up as unlisted. My tea's going cold. But obviously, for most of us, we're going to want that button clicked on so that we've got a nice populated home screen. Then the next options you get, and this will answer that question about how you move the video you've chosen to the top. You've got the options for 2 channel trailers. And do you remember I said the way I pick that one is by thinking of what's the best advert for my channel? And you think about it, that's what they do with films. There'll be some clips or an advert, a trailer for a Hollywood blockbuster. In my case, I've decided that who wants to see my ugly mug talking to them? So I've gone for my best video. You've got a couple of choices though. You can have a trailer for those who haven't subscribed, and a featured video for those who have subscribed. Now, what I'm feeling inclined to do is to constantly change this second one for people who've already subscribed to a different video. It could be my latest video every time, just leaving my showcase one to pop up like that for the new subscribers. Probably should do that actually. I'll leave you to mess with it and see what works for you, but that is literally all you do. Let's do that now. Let's say the one for returning subscribers, I want to change it. Let's pick one. Let's see if we can drum up some more business for the collaboration. So there you go. I just changed it. Simple as that. So that's the Bloom one. When you've finished any changes in here, by the way, you'll notice there's a publish button over on the right. Nothing will change until you press that publish button, and you can't undo. So make sure you're happy with everything, then hit publish. Otherwise, you're going to have to re-upload and change everything manually again. Now, I did want that member recognition banner. You remember there was a bar with my members' pictures across it? If you want that, you will select this. If you want to remove it, buttons on the right, remove. If you want this For You banner, again, that's the one where it was recommending what it thought would be suitable for that particular viewer. You can have that. I'll show you how to add these in a minute, but this is how you remove them. But I'm about to show you how you move them around, because I might move that one up. You go over to the left and there's these 2 little lines, and you grab it and you go like that. Simple as that. It's drag and drop. Then below that, I've got all my playlists. Now, some of these playlists are playlists made up of playlists, because you can actually add whole playlists to a playlist, if that makes sense. So you can have a playlist. If I've got everything to do with resin, I'm also probably going to want to put my beginners playlist in that, and so on. So you can actually make a playlist of playlists. So that's how you do those. Now, if you want to add a section, it's just here. So let's say you wanted to add popular videos, you wanted to add your shorts as a separate playlist. If you do a lot of those, that might be an option. But don't forget, you have got a tab for it across the top as well. A Live Now tab. I don't tend to do many lives on my main channel, so I probably wouldn't bother with that. Past live streams and so on. And this is where you can create playlists. So if you click on one of those, it will give you the options. What videos do you want to add? What playlists do you want to add? Simple as that. Featured channels is quite nice. I took it down because I didn't want to like feature some people's channels to be bigging them up and not others. It seemed a bit, I didn't like doing that. But you can add it and it will add links to my, your recommended channels or whatever. The other thing is don't forget you can actually rename these. Does it show on here? Where do you rename it? Can't remember where you rename it, to be honest. Oh, I think it's in the playlists in your uploads. Sorry, I'm fumbling a bit there because I actually can't remember exactly. Yes, I think you create the playlist and then you add it in. It's a while since I've done this, you can tell, but you can rename it anyway. So that's all the setup for your home page. Now let's go into settings. We can come back to all this, but if I go through the settings quickly now, for anybody who hasn't done this yet, this will save you so much work. I'll tell you, when I found this, I was so relieved. So I'll quickly go through this and then I will come back to take your questions, which hopefully are being fed through. Right, your general tab, just make sure it's on the right currency. So remember, I clicked on settings over on the left here to get to this. I'm so going to need a fresh cup of tea in a minute. Then channel. Here, some of this I might have to skip past, by the way, because there will be names in it that you, obviously there's some privacy issues there. So forgive me if I click past some of those. I'm a bit paranoid about privacy issues, view of my background. But in here, when you upload a video, you've got all those boxes you've got to tick and drop downs to pick from, and there's a whole load of stuff, and you just find yourself thinking, gosh, I wish it would just do this for me every time exactly the same. It can. Doesn't mean that for an odd video, if it's different, you can't change it though, because you just do that when you upload the video. But I'm always been going to be country of residence, the United Kingdom, as far as I know. If I'm lucky enough to move to Wales one day, it'll still be the United Kingdom, not a problem. Keywords, rather than keep adding different keywords, I find there's some that they're relevant to almost every video. So mica powder, some of the brands that I regularly use. Oh, you can take that one out. They've changed their name, haven't they? Dragons, fantasy craft, eco pour, resin art for beginners. These are all keywords that I use over and over and over again. So I leave them in here. When I upload my videos, they're already there for me, and I have a quick look and think, oh no, I didn't use eco pour in this one. It's just actual resin. I'll take that one out. I'll take this. It's not jewelry. I'll take that one out, and so on. But they're all in there for you, so you can just knock out a couple that don't apply if you want to, and add any extras that do. But the bulk of them will always be in there for you by default. And whatever you change when you upload your video won't change this default. It's only just changing it for that particular video. So that's handy, isn't it? Then there's some other ones to do with the advanced settings. Now, those of you who've got very new channels, by the way, you might not have some of these tabs yet. Some of them appear once you've uploaded a few videos or you've verified your identity. Some of them appear once you've cleared 500 subscribers and applied to monetize, and so on. So if you haven't got all these yet, don't panic, they will appear. Now, advanced settings. First of all, you need to tell it about your audience. Mine is, as you can see, it'll default to, no, this channel is not made for kids. My channel's perfectly child safe. There's nothing nasty on it. There's no aggro. There's no swearing. There's no adult stuff. There's no, things about making weapons or anything horrible like that. No drugs or anything. None of that on any of my channels. So it is child friendly, I'd like to think. But no, it's not made for children. Okay, it'd be about finger painting or something maybe if it was. It's not made for kids. It's made for adults. It's resin craft. If kids want to watch it, it's fine, but it's not primarily made for children, and that's what this is looking at. I know the channels that are set as being for children, it really limits the advertising and all sorts of things and the ability to monetize, because obviously they have to be very, very careful with stuff that's on channels particularly for children. So I know most of us watching here today will be crafters, but for most niches you'll be just ticking that one, unless you are unless your channel is something that bit more absolutely for kids. And again, that'll fill in the default for you. Channel insights sharing. Now, this is up to you. I'm linked to the Google Ads account linking because I've got a brand channel and it's fully monetized. So this might be one you don't see yet, but allow advertisers, brands and third-party platforms to view channel insights for earning opportunities. That means if a new potential supplier or sponsor wants to have a look at my channel, they will be able to see a certain amount of my statistics. It'll be things like view counts and view time, because view count and view time is way more important than how many subscribers you've got, to see whether they might want to work with me or not. So I leave that on, but it's up to you. Automatic captions. At the moment I've turned off auto dubbing because people kept saying I sounded silly. Can you why does your voice sound stupid? It's because auto dubbing is very new. So when it tried to dub me into, was it Mandarin? They said it was terrible. You can't talk properly. And I'm thinking, that's the auto dubbing. So at the moment I've turned it off until that gets better. I would really like to leave that on because it will translate our speech for us into other languages, which obviously widens our audience. I've gone back on what I said I was doing before because I was giving that a try. At the moment, I've turned it back off because I found it wasn't doing great favours for me. One day we'll be able to turn that back on. Now, automatic captioning occasionally. Now, I like to leave that on. We've all seen the captions come up at the bottom of the screen. People can change the language. They can turn it off. I usually turn it off myself. But if somebody's watching and their main language is, say, Urdu, they can put the captions on, or Arabic or French or whatever, they can put the captions on. It can occasionally make mistakes, as we know. But if you leave your automatic captions on, tick that thing that I've ticked there, the inappropriate words. So if it thinks you said something that was a naughty word, it won't try and translate it. Tagging products. You know what? I've not tried this. I've just left it ticked. YouTube may tag products and add timestamps for you. I don't look at me, no clue. Ignore that. Well, I do. Disable interest-based ads. Don't know. Ignore that. I think if you want to take off the it's to do with the personalised ads that people get shown. If you want to disable it so people see less ads, you can, but that isn't half going to mess up your potential for monetization. YouTube tries not to flood your videos too much with adverts. I tend to let YouTube just do its thing. You can add extra video slots when you upload your advert slots when you upload your videos. I don't. I suppose it increases your earning potential, but to me that also increases the potential to annoy everybody and I'm not want to watch your videos. So I just let the standard YouTube thing do its thing. But I'll show you what you can do if there's certain categories you don't want on there. I also allow viewers to clip my content. Now, it's up to you if you want to leave that on there. What it does mean is that if anybody wants to clip little bits to use in their videos, they can. You could say that could be risky, but what it does do is allow people like my resin suppliers, if they want to, and a couple of them have done from time to time, just pinch little bits from my video. Now, they always ask first, and I always say, do you want me to send you the original? Then you pinch what you like, it'll be easier. And I've ended up doing that. But I know they have wanted to, so I've ticked that. But that's up to you as well. Video quality enhancements. Why not let YouTube enhance it? Yes, tick. I've no idea how this hype thing works or if it's actually working at all. I think you can only do it on your phone. But I've ticked that because if anybody wants to hype for me, great, thank you. Third-party training. Now, YouTube can share our videos if we give their permission here so that they can use them for training their own resources. So I think there's things like training the AI. Now, if you don't want AI to be able to be trained using your material as some of the sample material, then don't tick that. But I'm okay with that. Other settings, don't press those. Don't press those. Especially this bottom one. Remove YouTube content. You might know that not long after I'd monetized, that my account, that this mini scenes, my main channel, did get deleted. And YouTube was saying, we can't do anything about it. We can't do anything about it because you deleted it. You told me to press that. I was on a live chat to them and I was having a problem with something and they told me to press that. And I said, are you sure this isn't going to damage my channel? No, it'll be fine. I pressed it and the whole lot went down. You can imagine how I felt. It was horrific because I was getting to that point where I was starting to generate an income that was making it actually possible for me to do YouTube without and afford it. It was awful. And of course, I hadn't kept backups of all the videos. Do keep backups of your videos, folks. I have done since. I've got a big hard drive for it. Now, luckily, YouTube had just done a complete system backup and they were able to retrieve it, but they don't always, because can you imagine how many billion channels and billions of videos they would have to keep backing up regularly? And they just can't. I don't think even they've got a computer big enough. But luckily, they had done some sort of system reset and they'd done a backup or something before it. And anyway, a couple of days later, much to my delight and joy, my channel was back. For God's sake, don't press that button. I never press the other one either, to be honest. Not quite sure what it does. Feature eligibility. As your channel becomes recognised, i.e. YouTube have got it verified and all that sort of thing, these buttons start to become enabled. You'll probably find when you first start uploading videos, it'll only let you do up to 15 minutes. If you verify it, which involves sending them a picture of yourself from various angles and things like that, only takes a few minutes, then they should release the intermediate features straight away, which is number 2 on the list, which allows you to do videos over 15 minutes, custom thumbnails and live stream, should you wish to do so. If you aren't able for whatever reason to do the verification thing, by the time you've got a few videos up and they've decided you're okay, you're not going to put anything horrible on there and they trust you, at some point they will just automatically verify you anyway. I'm not sure how long that takes because I didn't go that route. I was too excited and I wanted to do it straight away. But eventually it will happen anyway. So you're just stuck without being able to do live streaming, custom thumbnails and videos over 15 minutes at first if you don't. And then when you get eligible to apply for monetization, this advanced features kicks in. So you can just go in here and enable them all. More upload defaults, folks. Keep your questions coming via Mark, please. This is my template. You will see it already has those tags in there. Don't go too mad with your tags, by the way. They're useful, but I think probably for smaller channels, while YouTube is trying to work out what your channel's all about, they're probably a bit more helpful. But don't fret too much over them. That's why I have a bunch of standard ones and just do a bit of twiddling, and I just don't mess too much. Because once your channel's established, don't forget YouTube not only can read your title, look at your thumbnail, look at your description. For the crafters out there and other people demoing products, all those products listed in your description, YouTube can search those as well and go, oh yes, look, she's talking about glitter or resin or whatever. But it can also listen to your video. You know how it can do a transcript? It can see what you've said and make a transcript up of your video, you know, your script. It can do that. That means it can actually listen to your video. It'll take it a little while to search its way through your videos and find them. But it will understand what your video is about to a great extent from what you say in the video too, which is why you don't need to panic too much about the tags. Then below that, you see at the top, this is what's going to go in my title. It's reminding me to stick a number on the end. The next one will be 679, I think, because I know that because I just uploaded one. On the channel you're watching this on, I haven't bothered numbering them. I might be getting to the stage where I should actually. And of course, it reminds me that's where I put my title. So, but that's all I've just put in that top bit, just to remind me what to put there. In the description, I've put my little car, she's a little mini, and I've put all of the stuff that you see every time in my description. Obviously, at the start of all those links, there's the bit that I tend to need to change because it relates specifically to this video. So resin, I'm using Let's Resin a lot at the moment, so I've left their link in here. I'm using the Create and Bloom colours a lot, so I've left their link in here. But again, I could just change them when I get into the video, and I've left me a blank for the moulds because they could be from all sorts of places. But everything else is already filled in for me. So anybody who spends forever copying and pasting it out of a Word document like I did at first, copy and paste it into here instead, because this will just appear ready for you when you upload your video, and you just go in and do whatever tweaks you need to make it right for that video. Below that, visibility, mine defaults to unlisted, because unless I'm having a mad panic and it's a very last minute upload, I like to let my video sit for half an hour to an hour, possibly longer, before it's visible to the public. And that is because while it's still uploading, the first few people who see it might see a low resolution, slightly grainy, not so great version of the video. So I'd rather leave it as unlisted or schedule it for well ahead, so that by the time the world can see it, it's all lovely and 4K and it's all processed and YouTube's done its magic and it's looking the best I can make it look. So I tend to, if I'm going to make one go public immediately, it won't be. I'll leave it for, I'll load it up as unlisted, which is why that's set as my default. And then I'll go back and make it live in an hour's time, or I will schedule it for an hour's time. I think I'm about to get a furry visitor. This could cause chaos. So we've got all our tags and so on. Advanced settings, this is the stuff when you're uploading your video. We're still going down your screen, basically. So these will all look familiar. Automatic chapters, I'm still leaving that on, but the jury's out on this. I'm seeing some of the YouTube experts say that the automatic chapters and key moments, you're probably better turning that off and putting your own timestamps in. I do know how to do that, but it takes ages. If you want me to do a thing on that at some point, I will, but it does take ages, so I don't propose to demo it during this. But basically, you know, when you go into a video and it's got all this, it's blocked into little sections and it's made its own little timestamp, so people can jump to the end of this bit and jump to the end of that bit, rather than it just being one solid bar for them to scroll along to find the bit they want. That has either been done with the automatic chapters and key moments, or they've done it manually with timestamps. So let me know if you want me to do a session on that. I haven't done it for ages, but I'm perfectly willing to go through one of my videos and show you how to do it if you want. Just not now, because it takes ages. Now, this bit you'll recognise. I've got Creative Commons attribution set under the license. Standard YouTube license, not actually sure what that includes, but I've gone for Creative Commons and attribution. That means if anybody wants to clip any bits of my videos, they can, as long as they credit me. That means if somebody pinches bits of my videos and they don't credit me, they're going to get slapped. YouTube would take a dim view of it, basically. They're very hot on this. I do know a lady who's had all of her work stolen completely recently. She does product reviews and household stuff. And she's found at least one channel, and I think a couple of her friends have found others. There's a few channels involved in this that have stolen her complete videos and uploaded them as her own. And that is completely what is not on, of course. And she's reported them, and the channels were taken down within hours, I think. So I leave this on so people can if they want, as long as they credit me properly, because, you know, wider audience. But if you don't want people to do that at all, standard YouTube license is what you pick. Now, categories doesn't matter too much, but obviously what you don't want is completely and utterly the wrong category. So if I put on my craft channel that it was about autos and vehicles, that's just going to confuse things potentially. Also, if I said it was about music, it's really not, is it? Pets and animals, it's not. Now, what you can do is leave that blank, because if you've got a channel where it might be about a multitude of things, like my random stuff channel, I filled that in as pets and animals, because a lot of that channel is about pets and animals. Then I just change it if it happens to be something about cars on that particular video. So don't sweat too much. And also, it's a bit outdated, this is before YouTube learned to search properly. So it's a very short list, and just pick the nearest. The how to and style one seems to be the one that most crafts, cooking channels and all sorts, painters, artists, you know, that sort of people, go for how to and style. So I tend to stick with that one for my craft channel. Language and certification, language, yeah, all that, just leave it in your own languages. You won't have to keep ticking that every time. This business about it not ever aired in the USA, I think that's something to do with American law. I don't think any of us will have had our content go out on TV, and I don't mean YouTube being watched on TV, I mean actual TV channels. So I just click that and it will default to that every time. I leave the comments on so people can comment. You can turn them off if you don't want comments. Some videos you wouldn't want comments on, I suppose, but I leave it on. And moderation. If I hit none, anybody can post anything they like in my comments. If I leave it on strict, it will really knock out quite a lot of the comments. The slightest thing it will pick up. If I want it to hold all comments, so I have to review them and okay them, I can pick that. Now, I can imagine if you're doing a more contentious topic, you might want to look at one of those. But the topics that I cover on any of my channels, I mean, oh, cat's gone. I mean, let's face it, on Lego the Rescue Cats channel, nobody's going to put anything nasty, are they? No. I just leave them on basic. What that's going to do is pick out swear words and things. Monetization, I've picked that and I've just said show mid-roll ads during my videos. Fine. That's the standard thing, by the way. That's what you see. Unless you've got premium, YouTube premium, that is what you see as fairly normal. Pre-roll ads means at the start. Post-roll ads means at the end. Mid-roll means I'll put some in the middle. Any videos are over 8 minutes, give them long enough to put one in the middle. So they'll put in amongst those some adverts that you can skip. You know, you can press that button to say skip back to the video after a few seconds. It'll include those and some that aren't skippable. So that's all standard stuff. Now, if you want to sort out the categories of those adverts, if there's particular businesses you want to block that keep popping up on your videos and you don't like them, then you would pop them in here. I haven't got any like that. But what we have got is a list of sensitive categories. So do have a look at this. Now, obviously, this is only going to appear once you're monetized. And you'll see you've got a list. Now, I'm not going to block alcohol, black magic, astrology, esoteric, cosmetic procedures, and body modification. I mean, I don't have issues with any of those. But what I don't like is politics, religion. That might be it at the moment. Get rich quick schemes. I just don't want those popping up on my videos because they're contentious. I respect people's politics, don't like get rich quick schemes, but I respect people's politics and very much respect their religions. It's just that it's the sort of thing that people can fall out over. And if somebody's beliefs are different to what's popping up in that advert, it's just best avoided, isn't it? General categories you can do. Have I blocked any of these? I don't know if I have, but these are actual industry type things. Hobbies, games and leisure, home and garden. Law and government I've blocked for the same reasons, because it's just something people get silly about. And that's it, isn't it? Yeah. So that's how you can control. Oops, come out of it now, haven't I? But that's how you can control who can advertise on your channel, should you wish to. Managing permissions, I don't fiddle with that because that got messy and that's how I nearly lost my channel at one point. Yeah, but that's all to do with brand accounts, so that isn't going to affect most people anyway. Community moderation. So this is on your home screen as well. This is where you've got the comment moderations, which is set as basic, and so on. Now, I've blocked a load of words, which I'm going to whiz past pretty quick because there's some things in there that I don't want you to see, because it wouldn't be fair, there's names in there. However, what happens if you pick a word in there? Let's say I pick the F word, because I think we'd probably all agree we wouldn't want that in our comments, most of us, would we? Now, what would happen is that anybody who puts that word in their comment, when I go to my comments to see what the new comments are that have come in, I won't see it there in the recents, unless I go to change it from published to held, and it will put it in the held. If it's in the held, I can look at it and think, why on earth has it blocked that? It's fine. Click the little tick and it will let the comment publish. Or if it really is something unpleasant, I can just click remove. Okay, so words that you put in there are entirely up to you. I mostly put a lot of bad language because nobody wants that, do they? User management, as you can see, now there's a bit in here that I won't go too far down the screen because this is where you can block channels, and I don't necessarily want you to see that bit, so because again that wouldn't be fair. Managing moderators I've set. This is a useful thing to do. I've set Mark and Julia simply because if for whatever reason I happen to lose access to my channel, let's say I'm in hospital, or oh, I don't know, something goes horribly wrong anyway and I can't access it, then they should be able to access it and do quite a lot of stuff if I need to in emergency, like let everybody know what's happened using through my channel properly so it's official. So they are actually managing moderators. They can do quite a lot in my channel. What they can't do is take videos off and, you know, change any of the big main settings or that sort of stuff, but they can do quite a lot of things. Then down below I've got Restream Bot, because that's the software that I'm talking to you via at the moment. It needs that so it can actually access my channel. Then I've got my regular moderators, who, thank you so much all of you, by the way, I really appreciate your help. Is Storefield Designs, that's John, because yes, he did correct his, well, no, John, you've got your handle right, haven't you? Lovely. And Gert and Jenna and Sally. So they're all in there as regular moderators, and they can do all sorts of things, like if they see something nasty in the chat, when we're in the middle of a stream, they can chuck them out, things like that. Not that we've had to as yet. Now, I've also added a couple of approved users. Moderators and approved users can actually put channel links and things like that into the chat and into my comments. Nobody else can, just to stop people doing self-promotion and putting dodgy links in and things like that. So this has given those two users, as well as the moderators, the ability to put links into my chats if they need to. I haven't needed to add anybody yet, but you can if you want to. If I scroll any further, yes, at the bottom, and I'm not going to scroll any further, you can see hidden users. If you are constantly being plagued by someone, you can put their channel name in there. They won't necessarily know they've been hidden because they'll still be able to see their comments, but nobody else can, including you. And I've only got, I think there's about 6 or 7 in there, but it's good for your sanity. That and the blocked words are so good for your sanity. So I encourage you to use those when you find you need to. But as I said, I'm not going to go any further down that screen. Channel guidelines. You know, when you come into my chat, if it's the first time you've come into my chat, it'll say, welcome, be nice, and that will answer questions. That's the standard thing. You can add more guidelines to that if you want. It suggests some manual ones, or you can type one in. That's all that is. Further on down, there's nothing really helpful. It's just things like creator demographics. Excuse me, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, that's better. That's been brewing for a bit. Creator demographics, you can join in a survey so that they know how old you are, where you are, and all that sort of thing. You're helping YouTube with information and that sort of thing. There's some agreements and promotions and stuff down here. None of that you need to worry about for your initial uploads. So if you've changed anything, which I have, haven't I? I really should have turned WhatsApp off, shouldn't I? Yeah, if I have changed anything and you're happy, then click save. We've done it. Let me come back to my main channel. Always remember to click publish once you're happy you've done everything you want to. Right, let me come back to the screen. Gosh, this is a long one. I hope it's helpful, everyone. Stop sharing. I'll be back in the room and oh gosh, thinking my eye now. Oh, that's good, isn't it? So I'm just going to go back over and see what if Mark has collected. Oh, it's Pig Cannon and Wendy's Decorium. We've got some more people. Hello, people. Yeah, there's a lot to take in. People are saying, oh, there's a lot to take in. I've gone through a lot here. You will be able to watch this on replay. Keep stopping and starting it. I will leave the video up for you. It usually, I think it takes half an hour or so to appear as a replay. I'll also leave the chat rate replay on unless anybody particularly wants me not to. I usually put the chat on the screen. I haven't done this time because we've got Mark feeding me the questions. And I didn't want to clutter the screen up with doing the screen sharing. But as long as everybody's happy for me to leave the chat replay on, I don't see why you wouldn't be. But as long as you're happy, oh, hello, Johnny. Then I will leave the chat replay up. Let me know if you have any issues with that. Right, has Mark got some questions? Oh, hang on. If you add links to recommended channels, can it get you into trouble if you recommend big channels? There's various ways of adding links, so let's talk through that one because that's a cracking question. One, if it's in your tags, let's say the whole thing. When I'm uploading a video, I try to only include the tag and the mention of those other channels if my video is relevant to that channel, which is why you won't see in my tags pouring your heart out. Julie's got to be the biggest, hasn't she? So it would be very tempting to put pouring your heart out in your tag in every video, or give her a mention in every video description or that sort of thing. Don't. You can get in trouble with YouTube if you do that. And I do see creators who've just got a list of other big creators' names in their tags. One, it doesn't work. And two, YouTube take a very, very dim view of it. Now, for example, I am the Bloom collaboration video that is going out tomorrow. Did I mention there's a collaboration going out tomorrow? That will be the 12th of February for anybody watching this on replay. In my video for that, I have tagged Julie Cuts at Pouring Your Heart Out because I'm using one of her molds. I've also tagged Amy's channel, Resonating Art by Amy. I think I've tagged Loose Soul Creations, and who else did I tag? Can't remember now, but it's people who that video is relevant to them. Oh, that's it, I think. Sorry, I'm fumbling here. I can't really remember. The reason for that is the mold I'm using is from Pouring Your Heart Out. Loose Soul Creations, Jana, very kindly sent me that beautiful mold in a happy mail. Also, she's in the collaboration too. Amy, because she's been helping teach me how to do blooms, as has Joanne sent me a load of tips, as has Petra Youngblood. She sent me some tips as well. So I've tagged people like that because they are absolutely relevant to my video. But if you do keep doing it and they're not relevant, yes, it can get you in trouble with YouTube. Absolutely. vidIQ did a video on that recently. So it's all about being appropriate. Is it relevant to your video or isn't it? If it isn't, don't put it in there. I hope that makes sense. I will come back to the questions in a moment. I'm just looking at what Mark sent across to me. Somebody has said, I've taken off the dubbing because I got a negative comment. Yes, so did I. I was really hoping it had worked. Well, I think when I last did one of these lives on this topic, I said I was leaving it on because I wanted to see how it worked, because if it did, it would be awesome. Right now, no. Don't forget they can use the captions, can't they? The subtitles thing anyway. So at the moment I have taken it back off as well. I completely agree. I think you can sort of choose your voice. There are ways of doing it. I've not tried it, and honestly, I'm just not going to do it until it's working properly. I'm just going to leave it as it is. They've got the captions; those are pretty good. So unless you happen to be clever like the two Petras and can speak 2 languages and can dedicate the time to record it in a couple of languages, then, you know, I'd say just leave it for now until we know it's actually working better. Another question come in here. Do you have to pick one niche for your videos? This is a big topic and it's a good one. That's the last I've got from Mark, so I'll come back to the main chat in case there's any more coming in. No, you don't have to. The only thing is, what are people going to be searching for when they come looking for your videos? Now, my random stuff channel, heck knows how anybody's going to find that. It's just for fun. I just plonk things there I'm having a bit of fun doing, like my fish tanks or a car show or whatever. The problem is, what audience are you trying to appeal to? So if we take my Tracy's Random Stuff channel, on there are car shows, there are aquariums, there are guinea pigs, there is cat stuff, what else is there? Terrariums, bugs. Unless somebody's very interested in me, and why the hell would you be? Nobody is going to be searching for that channel and find it. So if you have a multitude of things on one channel, it makes it difficult. Now, I have done a bit of experimenting with this. And if you've got a lot of things that are similar but related, Gert, I hope you don't mind, I'm going to use your channel as an example here. Now, Gert, aka Kel, Gert Creates. Now, Gert's isn't just a resin channel. She does model making, she does painting, she does all sorts of fantastic creative things. But you can imagine that the audience that might be looking for resin might be the same people who are looking for painting. I know I do both, which is Gert's fault. So where there's a, oh, thanks, Gert. Where there's a synergy, and it might be the same or a very similar audience, then no problem whatsoever would be my take on that. You know, correct me if you think I'm wrong, but that's personally my take, because I know if I go to Gert's channel, not only am I going to find resin stuff, but I'm going to find her painting a fantastic little model that she's making, or something else that I'm going to want to get a cup of tea and sit and watch, because it is another creative process. Where it goes wrong, yes, you're right, John, she really does. Where it goes wrong is if you put something totally different. Now, I know on my channel, because my main channel, Mini Scenes GB, is all about resin craft, very specifically resin craft. So if I put a video on about something different, and let's say watercolor painting, like when I did that the challenge Tracy with Gert, I knew that video wouldn't do very well. People don't come to me for painting. They would go to Gert. Sorry, I think I lost the connection a bit there. I hope I'm back. Oh, did I see Jess come in? Hey, Jess. Yeah, so putting that on my channel, I knew that's one of my worst performing videos, and I knew it would be, because that isn't what my channel's about. If you do a lot of different things, you're all right, but doing a random different thing in the middle of where you usually do the same thing, I think that's when it's an issue. Now, I knew I'd got enough videos on there for it to not confuse the algorithm. I also knew I just really wanted to do it. I wanted to work with Gert. I really was enjoying having got back into painting because she'd inspired me. It's fine, absolutely fine. Wouldn't change it for the world. Love doing that, and I bet we'll do it again at some point. Now, one thing I did do a while ago when my channel was smaller, I can't remember how many subscribers I got, but we're talking pretty small. Had it monetized? I'm not sure. It was at that sort of end of my YouTube thing. I put one video about cars on. It was just one of the cars at the museum blasting up and down the drive, because it's something you see about once every 10 years. It's the only car in the world. There is only one of it, and it very rarely comes out and has a blast. So I put that on that channel, and I immediately got a load of dislikes. And I thought, and that's when I made the Random Stuff channel, to dump all sorts of random stuff on, and decided that if I did another channel to talk about YouTube rather than crafts, and to talk about people who do YouTube, people who turn hobbies into businesses, that sort of thing, then it would be this YouTube for grown-ups channel. And because it's a bit varied still, YouTube is struggling still to know how to push it out to, and also I'm completely not consistent with it. I can go months without posting anything, and then I'll post 3 things at once. So I'm doing everything wrong. I also need to completely do a rebrand on it and try and get all my thumbnails looking matching, and all these things I've been saying I do on my main channel, I haven't done yet on this channel. So no wonder it's a mess. But that is my take on niches. If you can pick a niche, pick your lane and pretty much stick in it, or things very closely associated to it, then YouTube will know who to push your videos to, or who will be pulling your videos. There's a different way of terming it, and I can't get my head around it, but it will know who your potential audience are, who to serve it up to. It'll make it for viewers easier for viewers because they know what they're going to get from your channel. It'll be like, oh, Tracy's putting something else in glitter today, you know, in resin today. They'll know that it's something that they want to see, so on and so forth. Now, if you start putting some of your stuff, if I mix my interviews in with my resin and say mixed YouTube tips in with my resin, I'm positive it would have absolutely trashed my channel, because that would just have completely confused the algorithm. Suddenly it would not know who my channel was about and who the hell to recommend it to. Oh, Northants magnet fishing. Hello, Nigel. If anybody hasn't seen, on this channel, I went out and had a day with the Northants magnet fishers, largely because I wanted to know how Nigel kept his hat on when he's leaning over a river. Yeah. Anyway, that's one of the videos on this channel, and I thoroughly recommend it because I had a bloody good day out with them, and they're just cracking people. It was great. Now, has anybody got any more questions? I think I've got all the ones that Mark sent over. I've gone through a hell of a lot at a rate of knots, and it's still an hour and a half. So if anybody has got any more questions, start lobbing them in the comments now, because I am back on my main screen. I can see chat, I can see people arriving. So do lob any questions in there. Mark can stand down for a minute because I can see the chat. And if I can drop a hint, Mark, I'd love a cup of tea at this point, please. Thank you. He does keep his hat on. He's got a GoPro stuck on the front of it. How does it not fall in the river? That more or less spawned this channel, that question did. Questions, people, questions. If not, I'll start to draw it to a bit of a close. But I am aware that there's a few people who have only just joined us. Is there anything else you want to look at if you don't have any questions on this particular topic? What's going on with Jess? I'm going to have to so watch these comments back. Mark's done a great job with the questions, I have to say. Julia, when we get a minute, I'll need to fill you in on how to do that if we can work out this coming into chat as host thing. Because it's actually easy to do, I just can't work out changing the name properly. Yes, people, we have a celebrity in our crowd. Northants magnet fishing, Nigel, can I just say, huge congratulations. I think you're knocking on 60,000 subscribers. When I saw them, it was at about 40. Then they cleared 50 and it has rocketed up to something like 60,000. I think it's very close on if it isn't already, in a matter of like 2 or 3 weeks or something stupid. It's just insane. So massive, massive congratulations to Nigel, Paul and Terry. Go on, you got any more questions? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Oh, Jessica's old freezer. That was it was an old freezer. It was tucked around the corner, Jess. For goodness sake, surely nobody could see it. And it wasn't that scruffy looking or anything. I know Jess's freezer. I have met it. It was fine. Nigel, as it is past 60 now. Fantastic. Nigel, have you got any questions for me? I've interrogated you before, haven't I? Oh yes, John does go and make occasional appearances too. He's usually there lurking. Yeah, I want one of those. John keeps ask John to make you one for your 60,000. Nigel, they're on the wall behind me somewhere. Oh no, I'll knock my frog down if I go over there. Can you see? Oh, hang on, which way? Where's it gone? Oh, it's hiding behind some pens and things. Just about here is the red button he made me. Was that 10,000 subscribers? And somewhere up there, I've got the purple one he made me for 20,000 or 25,000 subscribers. You're welcome, Sherry. So I didn't exactly go through it like it was a proper training thing. Get me on there and I'll quiz you. You're on, Nigel. We'll do that sometime. That would be a right good laugh. Thank you. You're one person who can talk as much as me as well. That would be good. See you, Wendy. Thanks for joining us. Trellis, that's a good idea, Sally, for hiding Jessica's freezer. Oh, we did get one at 20,000 subscribers, did he, John? Right, for anybody watching this on replay, you can go now because we're all just having a natter. Unless you want to hear me nattering. I could put the chat on screen. Am I on? Am I on? I am. Thank you, Jessica. Does anybody mind if I put the chat on the screen now? Because now I'm back in the room, I can see it if I remember how to do it. Show on stream. There we are. See, that's why I didn't want to do it while you were in. While I was screen sharing, it'd make it all too small. Nigel's going to wear his hat. Jess, yes, I am. My skin's taken a little bit of a knock lately because of for health reasons. And I have got makeup on for a change. Not much. I'm not very good at makeup nowadays. But yeah, I've been using all that lovely stuff from Wild Mint, and no, they're not. They haven't sponsored me or paid me for anything. They've just sent me some free stuff, and it's lovely. It's all natural, and you know, you can even get it in your eye, and it doesn't hurt. That's how gentle it is. I think I've been too mean to my skin over the years. That's John, go and visit Jess and paint her freezer. We're just having a natter now. And stand down, we're having a natter. You can just watch if you want. You can join in the chat and pretend to be me again if you want. Sorry, Mark's just brought me another cup of tea. That's it. Get John to come down and print it. You paint it. You've seen his work. You can paint pretty much ever what you want on it. I'll tell you what. John, can you paint bricks to make it look like it's a bit of the wall? Canal sludge. Yeah, I've seen you guys all covered in canal sludge. It's a bit stinky, isn't it? Rivers aren't so bad. I'm going to have to get me some proper waterproofs if I come and see you again so I can have a go, won't I? Who wants to see me covered in canal sludge? I can think of a lot of people who'd probably like to see me covered in canal sludge, actually. Oh, no. Jess is asking about the craft room. This is the craft room. That's the bit that looks decent. Don't ask to look at the floor. Mark had to just climb over a load of things to get to me to bring me a cup of tea. That's how bad it is. So this is going to stay as the craft room until one day we move house or something. I don't know. This will have to stay as the craft room. The laser cutter is in the conservatory, and my sublimation printer and little mug press are about to make their way into there as well. When the shed appears, it's going to be like a little log cabin. It's going to be very cute, and that will be where I shall be setting up where I can do this sort of video from. It's quite nice being in the craft room actually, because it feels like kind of home, but it would be nice to have somewhere where I can leave my lighting set up for this and have a permanent microphone, so I don't have all these plugging in and out and messing about. That tends to mean I have like connection issues and stuff like that. And Mark won't have to climb in. No, I have a pretty background with fairy lights. Something other than a frog, maybe. I should put my play buttons that John's maybe in the background, maybe one of my paintings. So yes, that's what I should do at some point, but it won't be till the summer because we've got to move the koi pond. There's only about half a dozen koi in it still, but it's a bloody big pond. You could easily lose a car in it, a small car, but you could lose a car in it. So we've got to fill that in and dig a new one and hard landscape the whole garden. It's a tiny garden, but it's still a huge job because we've got to go down about 3 foot for the pond. Why did my chat just go off screen? That's why. There we go. So yeah, it's going to be sometime in the summer, and it all, as it has done for the last few years, depends on getting my car out of the way, because one of my cars is in the back garden as well. The engine's back in, but it's not connected to anything, so we need to be able to do that. I can't do that on my own. I'm not clever enough. And then get stuck in with the garden. But this all depends on Mark's mum, because every time he stops, because she's having a good spell, and thinks, well, now we've got some time to do something, like he did get the engine back in. It all ground to a halt again because poor Janet wasn't well again, and so he just isn't here so often. So it's difficult. It is difficult, but I hope we can get it done in the summer. I'm lucky to have a Mark that can. He's a very handy man, and he does know a lot of people that could help if we get stuck. But he can build a wall, he can dig a hole, he can lay slabs, he can lay block paving. He's a proper bloke. Tea order's in. Mark's got the kettle on. Yeah, he's good, isn't he? I am lucky to have him. Trust me, there's been a lot of times recently where I've been particularly glad to have him. Tea no sugar. Tea no sugar for Sally. Is that right? Okay, Mark. What mug's he giving me this time? Oh, this is one I tried to stick vinyl on and it's all coming off. Early fail. So yeah, anyway, that's the plans for the shed. The shed's going to be quite late on going in, really, because we've got it's just a big patch of mud at the moment, our garden is, except for the bit that the car's parked on. Massive job. Yeah, Mark's put it on. Oh, sorry, lovely. Mark's put up with me for it'll be 30 years this summer. Poor guy. He keeps saying he'd have got less time for murder. No, just a matter of interest, Nigel. Nigel wants to come on one of these and question me. As a matter of interest, Nigel, have you seen any of my Ask Me Anything ones? Because the last one we did was a bit of a giggle. And the one before. Was it the one before? Oh, sorry, Pecan. Sorry to hear that. Bless you. Was it the one before? We started with, what did we start with? We started thinking like sensible questions, and somehow we ended up with what was, did I believe in ghosts and where did I stand on zombies? So one day, Nigel, if you're stuck in the back of the van and you're fed up of editing and you've actually got a chance to have a breather, if you want to watch those before you launch at me with some questions. Carry on. Don't stand on zombies. Thanks, Mark. Run quickly. That's Mark as appearing as me. Stop. We need to work that out. If you remember, where I stand on zombies is I was totally fine with them because they moved slowly. And then Brad Pitt ruined it for me because suddenly, was it World War Z? Yeah, zombies are suddenly fast. I'm not fast. I used to be. I'm not now. So that's it. I'm off zombies completely. So that's where I stand on zombies. Still thinking of getting another kitty? Ah, good question, Gert. Me and Mark, the juries are out on it. Oh, you know me, I'd have 10 if I could. The thing is, and Mark, I think, would happily have another cat. The thing that's difficult is we don't know how Lego would behave. This is apparently the first time he's had humans all to himself. He wants to play all the time to the point that you've seen what state my arms are in half the time. He gets a bit overexcited and things. He seems to be enjoying himself. He's having a whale of a time, but he wants it pretty much 24/7 when he's not, well, except when he's sleeping. It's like it's one thing or the other. So if we bought him a little friend to play with, that would be great. But we've seen how he behaved when another cat got in the garden. Okay, I think it was probably another adult boy cat. But there was lots of hissing and growling, and that poor other cat, even though it was bigger than him, was absolutely terrified. And we don't know, if we bring a nice little female younger cat home, that would probably be the way to go. So he wouldn't feel threatened. But would he be horrible to her? I don't want to rescue a cat and then have to take it back. Is he happier being a solo cat? I wish he could talk. He just looks at me stupid when I ask him. He starts licking his lips, which probably means go and get me some food. Are we back onto zombies again? Yeah, so the jury's out on that. If we do, it probably wouldn't be till summer anyway. Give him a whole year to have like really settled in with us. He's getting into some lovely little routines. Oh, he was adorable last night. He came up under the quilt and literally cuddled up with us under the quilt, and his little face appeared on my shoulder, and it was so sweet. Gert reckons it's just because another cat came into his domain. You could very well be right. Apparently, he came from it was from a tower block flat in Birmingham where they got a load of cats. So, and she said he's good with other cats. But as this is the first time he's had his own territory and some outside space, because we've cat-proofed the garden because he's got no sense of self-preservation if he tries to go out, so we're quite worried about him. So we have cat-proofed the garden, and it's the first time he's got 2 humans to himself. I don't know if it'll upset things. We are very tempted, but yeah, the jury's still out. I'll keep you posted. I see there's some subscribing to each other going on in the chat. Absolutely fantastic. Please do that, folks. Only, though, if you're intending to watch the channels. Nigel's got dogs, cats, rabbits, fish, tortoise. You're worse than me, Nigel. Yeah, please only subscribe to each other's channels if you are intending to watch, because as we've seen when people have bought subscribers or done one of these sub for sub things, or they've got all their friends to subscribe to them, and those people don't watch your videos, it actually does more harm to your channel, because YouTube thinks, well, they've put these videos up, they've got all these subscribers and they're not watching them, they can't be very good. So please only subscribe to each other's channels if you're intending to watch their videos at least, you know, once in a while, because then that genuinely does help, really helps then, and we all appreciate it very, very much. And the channel memberships, of course. We've still got 20 people in. Tortoises. I like that, John. John went into town today and thought we had a zombie outbreak, but it was just the school kids on their phones. I'm a bit like that with mine. Mark will tell you, and this laptop. Oh, Amy's had to leave us. Thanks for coming. Nigel's been talking a lot about mentioning his subscribers. By the nature of what Nigel does with his live streams, and if you're a bit interested in magnet fishing or think, what hell is this guy doing, do go have a look. He live streams at 12 and 3:30, believe it is, for about an hour on pretty much every Sunday all year, no matter what the weather. And you just see what he's pulling out of a river, him and his friends, what they're pulling out of a river with a rope, and you can ask questions. The amount of views he gets are absolutely insane, as he's shown you there in the chat. 293,000 views and 5,600 in the room at the same time. It's just, it is fascinating. I mean, I'm absolutely obsessed. I just watch and watch them. I hardly ever miss one of theirs. If I miss it, I watch it later and catch up, because they do premiere their videos at the same time as my Saturday premiere. But Nigel has become the master of live streaming. It works if you've got something where people like to, it might work for the crafters, because where people like to watch a process, maybe. But people love the fly on the wall thing of being able to watch them magnet fishing. One of them's always got the camera. It'll either be Nigel or Terry. And they've got a couple of good moderators as well, who are just constantly taking people's questions. It is a masterclass in how to do a live stream, honestly. And I've watched them doing it. Yeah, they're filming it with a phone. It's just so well done. It's just about the characters, I think. 1 million views last month. There you go, people. That's how to do it. So if you want to see a masterclass in live streaming, it's so simple, but it's perfection. Go watch that. Anybody else got any questions? You now will see why I wanted to go and see Nigel and see what they were up to, can't you? Don't forget, there was that there is that video where I went out to see how they were filming. They talked me through everything. It was amazing. Oh yeah, they had a video out tonight. Oh yes, they do. This is the thing. They have videos out at the same time as I have videos out. So very often I just catch the end or go back and watch it from the start. Sundays are good because that's their live streams, and usually I'm having a bit of a break on a Sunday at that time. Yeah, Nigel, Sally's not kidding. She lives on the estuary in Bideford in a houseboat. If you want to see that, go and have a look on this channel, actually. Sally was one of my very first interview video, little mini documentary things that I did. Nigel, if you ever act normal, I think there's something wrong. This is nice. We'll have lost anybody watching this on the replay completely, won't we? 1 million views is incredible. You think it's taken me, what am I at about 2.5 million views? And that's taken me just over 3 years now, I think. 3 1/4 years, something like that. Now, I know Nigel's been doing this for a good number of years now, but how many million views in total have you got? What? Go on, Nigel. How many million views in total have you got? And how many watch hours? That's the one that will be scary, I think, because that brings in the lives as well, I think. Yes, she is the one with the awesome dog. He'll tell us in a minute. He's gone to look. Millions upon millions, anyway, if he doesn't have a chance to look. It is millions upon millions. If you have a look on his channel, well, you could see it, he'll tell you. Diva dog. She's gorgeous. She talks to you. There you go, 18 million views. It's unreal, isn't it? Watching people with a rope with a magnet on the end pulling stuff out of a river. It's fascinating what they pull out. It's a fascinating topic, but there's a lot of other people doing it. I think with them, it's their personalities. They're funny. The banter's funny. They find some incredible things. I mean, you want to watch them pull a whole Harley Davidson out and a Napoleonic ship's cannon. Thanks, Pecan. Yeah, I appreciate all your thumbs ups and stuff and comments as well. The thing I think with Nigel's team is that it's about the banter and the people and the way they tell the story of what they find and the camaraderie between them. They're just as funny as anything, and they're just the same off camera. And people love that relationship thing. So they gave me a cannonball as well. I think it's on the floor by Mark at the moment because he was going to clean it up for me. Oh, Gert's seen the bike. They pull a lot of bikes out of rivers, but that whole Harley, I don't think any of them could walk for about a week after pulling that thing out. It's coming up to 2 hours, folks. Thank you ever so much for your company. It's been such fun. I do love just chatting with you lot. I could talk for England. You lot are just brilliant. Yeah, I imagine it did, John. I mean, as I've discovered, you're extremely strong as well. And I know Nigel and Paul are too. But you ended up with they do help clean up the rivers. You're right, Pecan, and it all goes off to the scrap man if it's not something worth keeping and cleaning up. So they do a very good job. Yeah, but thank you ever so much for all hanging out with me tonight. I feel myself very, very lucky to have friends like you lot. I really, really do. And I never expect to get many people watching this stream. If anybody shows up, great. I purely do. By the way, the live streams really don't earn hardly anything at all. I deliberately put this on this channel, like I said, so it doesn't mess up my main channel. I also, is Mark misbehaving? But this channel isn't properly monetized either. It's not why I do it. I just found myself, I like chatting and I like seeing if there's anything I can do to help. With my non-expert hat on, I like to try and share what's working for me. And I found myself talking through the same things. I don't know if any of you know this. I do very happily. I can very happily sit down on this streaming software because it's easy for me to share screens and things just privately. It doesn't go live or anything, and just have a private conversation with someone, or on Teams or Zoom or whatever, and do a bit of a one-to-one and see if I can just help you get started. So if there's any of the stuff that I've gone through tonight that you're thinking, hang on, Tracy, you've lost me there, just drop me a line and I'll set aside a bit of time to just sit down with you and go through it. What I would say, though, is with all of this, absolutely see what works for you, because you might find that it isn't exactly the same as what works for me. Remember, those of you watching who haven't got crafting channels, again, things might be slightly different for you. So experiment with it, and I hope it's just giving you some ideas, really. Oh, yes, and I've just seen Nigel put in chat. If anybody wonders how much work that is, Nigel has got an extremely full-time job. He doesn't really sit down and eat. He'll be editing with one hand and a sandwich in the other. He works night and day on his day job, which he loves, and the YouTube thing. The work that goes into his channel, I cannot imagine I could ever do that. So it just shows you that hard work pays. We'll do a live sometime, Nigel. You can quiz me. I was going to get you on and quiz you anyway, wasn't I? But we must organise it, but I know your time is ridiculously precious. Okay, anybody who wants to get onto a bit of a one-to-one with me, as I keep saying this, please don't take me as an expert. I'm never going to pretend to be an expert. Nobody knows everything, and I don't know even half of it probably. But I'm very happy to try and share what I can and see what I can do to help for what it's worth. Drop me a line. Anyway, we're on 2 hours. I need to stop waffling. You lot are still chatting. Look, 17 of you still in chatting. I love you lot. I mean it. I love you lot. I've been so grateful for your friendship, especially lately. Bloody awesome. Can I draw this to a close now, please, before another cup of tea goes cold? And I have got a nice bottle of Lambrini downstairs that Mark got me. Okay, I am going to draw it to close. Most of you, I think, are in the Crafty YouTubers United group. There's no reason why we couldn't have a couple of guests in there that don't do craft channels, I suppose. But it is a group for specifically people who have got YouTube channels, and we've got people in the group who are just uploading their first video or haven't quite even got to that stage yet, through to people like me who've been sort of messing about with it for 3 years. I think we've got some people who've been on it a lot longer than me as well. So none of us know everything. Absolutely none of us know everything. But between us, we know a lot. I come on of an evening to see if anybody's got a question I can help with, and find that somebody else has already dealt with it. It's brilliant. They're so supportive. I started that group because I didn't want anybody to be alone, like I was when I first started on YouTube. And until I made a few friends who were so great and able to help me, like Dan Cooper, Claire's Crafty Corner, Wendy from Toonprish, and others. So I wanted to try and help people get past that awkward hurdle and build up a bit of camaraderie and mutual support. And it's worked so well. It is working really well. We've got the best people in the group. So if anybody wants to join it, just drop me an email or speak to somebody else in the group. You can probably see most of them in this chat replay. And we'll hook you up with an invite to the group. Anyway, time to say goodnight. Thank you, everyone. Nigel, if you consider yourself creative, you'll do. Yeah, you can join if you wanted. I don't think anybody will object. So I'll see you next time, folks. Don't forget, as I keep telling you, Bloom collaboration tomorrow. Northants Magnet Fishing have put out a video tonight, so if you're intrigued by what this waffle is all about, go have a look. I know you'll love it. They're so funny and it's so interesting. And I'll see you back in the Discord group for those that are in. And I'll see you at some crafting videos around this town. Goodbye, and thanks everyone. And by the way, if there are any more comments, you can either put them in the questions on this video or just grab me separately later or in Discord or whatever. Take care all. I'll see you for the next one. Thank you.